Imagine this, you do a hard day of work and you go back to your house. When you arrive, you come up with a brilliant idea to unwind by playing a nice game of CS2. So you boot up your PC and you say to yourself, yes, this is it. This is definitely going to improve my mood and will not make me more stressed, angry or depressed. So you start up some comp and in the first game, you get absolutely curb stomped. Okay. The first game, so sometimes it's unlucky, But since I'm kind of tired, I think I'll only play until I win one. And you know what? That's the life of so many people. That actually was my life. Especially Overwatch 1. I couldn't even get out of Platinum. Because the thing is, winning a game can actually be so euphoric sometimes. If I hit a nasty one-tap or do a mean clutch, I feel like a god walking among men. But that feeling lasts until I lose the next 10 rounds in a row and go back to my default post-loss depression. Because that's how the game works. It's the unemployed versus people with jobs. If you don't have the time to research and figure out how to win, then you're cooked. You're just done. Hell, even if you get good at a game, there's always a chance you'll lose just because your teammates are missing their frontal lobe. And sometimes that's how it is. And that no matter what you do, you just can't seem to win. Okay, you know what? To be fair, I have been negative about this, alright? But despite all the negativity, I will admit this one thing. There is something motivational seeing how millions of people can tolerate this shit game. Like, on a real note, if I lose 3 games in a row, I quit for 3 months. Those that have the willpower to come back and get ass blasted day in and day out in the same shit game are built differently. If you guys weren't unemployed, you'd be conquering the world as we know it. Now, I don't know about you, but losing in a competitive match always feels like the worst thing that has ever happened. The feeling is like if I'm walking down the street and I see a sweet old couple get hit by a car. Okay, the feeling isn't that traumatic or bad, but you kind of get my point. And sometimes, yeah, you lose fairly because you had this shit game. But other times, there's some elements that are just out of your control. You're telling me I have to get to the point where I have to be able to carry the 2 bottom fragging idiots on my team. As long as I have a job, that is never happening. The only way to make competitive mode more enjoyable is to play with your friends and not give a shit about your rank. Which in essence kind of, contradicts the whole point of the game mode. I know that people love to shit on CSGO's counterpart, but at least if I play well, I won't get harshly punished. That's right everyone, in the mummy role-playing video game that everyone shits on, if you do well, but still lose, you will receive a much lighter penalty. But what about CSGO? Oh, what's that? You had a somewhat decent game and your teammate went 1 in 150? Yeah, both of you are gonna lose the same amount of points. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, guys, isn't collective punishment so fun? It just makes sense. I deserve to be at a much lower rank due to my other 4 teammates having a total of 3 hands combined. I hate that in CSGO, I can tell within the first 5 rounds, or sometimes even 3 rounds, that I'm gonna lose. The feeling of pure dread watching my teammates play is inconceivable, because you just know that it's gonna be a slaughterfest for the next 40 minutes. Sometimes I don't think I'm playing with actual humans, but instead an alternative species that I haven't encountered. Now, I will admit this, that just like in sports, the losing team can always turn it around. It sometimes may be inconceivable, but there's always a small chance that your teammates will remember that they have brains. That's right, sometimes the impossible just becomes possible. And I'm not afraid to admit it, like there's a rare possibility that your 30 level IQ teammates get possessed by the likes of Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking. Even though it's always possible to turn it around, that is not always the case. If the team is in the shit, then I don't really know what I can do to inspire them. I don't want to give them a motivational speech every time they miss the easiest op shot. It's such a sad feeling trying to watch a YouTube video on my other monitor, only to realize that my teammate is out here trying to clutch a 1v3 with about 2 fingers per hand. I would be having the time of my life if I was playing a single player game. I could be card maxing in Balatro, I could be mage maxing in Skyrim, I could be goon maxing in Marvel Rivals. Basically, with single player games, you're almost guaranteed to have a good time. But online games, there's a 50-50 chance you'll have a good time. Okay, except if it's like Marvel Rivals, because even if you're losing, you can goon max, But no, instead of goon maxing, I'm getting humbled by someone with no job. Look, listen, okay? I will say this, that I've been talking a lot of shit about my teammates, right? And maybe I haven't been like reflecting on myself. Maybe I'm the problem, right? But no. I'm here to tell you that concept, that idea that you're probably thinking of that I'm the problem is just like complete bullshit, you're just a fucking idiot. And that's why like, I'm just gonna quickly play a game right now. Like literally the first game. I'm gonna like record myself playing the first game, and I'll just prove to you just how good I am compared to my team. Because I will get more kills. Because people do lie, but you know what doesn't lie? Statistics. Data. You're gonna see all the data and proof from this one game that I am the superior CS2 player. Alright, let's run it. Okay, I just finished this match, it ended 4-13, that's just my average score per game, there's like, I can't really carry so much, 4 rounds per time, that's all I can carry. So let's just quickly peek the scores and just see how well I did.
You wimps suck!
Yeah, so this wasn't one of my best games, to be fair, I was a little tired and I kind of like rushed into this to make the video, so there was like pressure. Okay, but at least I'm not bottom fragging. I don't know how this guy got like just 1 kill, but I'm not the worst player, guys. Okay, so like give me some credit. I think I'll play one more just to like hopefully maybe turn it around.